Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So tonight we're going to be talking about the Bondi Beach mass shooting that happened earlier on today or yesterday, if depending on what time zone you're in. So just before I get onto this live stream, guys, what I want to say is I've been warning about this for quite a while. I've been talking about World War III and World War IV. I've been saying that World War III will be overseas. It will involve guns, tanks, bombs, trains, planes, automobiles, drones, ships, submarines. That is going to be World War III. There's also going to be another war fought consecutively, and these two things have to be, these two conflict areas have to be, they have to be separated. Because one of these conflicts is going to be fought by soldiers, and the other one is going to be fought by civilians. Now, World War IV is going to be the war on our streets. I've been talking about this for quite a while. I was getting quite a lot of pushback when I initially started talking about it, maybe a year ago when I was separating World War III and World War IV. It does seem now more and more people are understanding that the stark reality is when all the soldiers, look, guys, let's go through a decision-making process here. Let's go through a decision-making process. Okay. Does it look like the Europeans are going to have a war with Russia? It's a simple question. It either looks like we are or it looks like we are not. If you think we are not, then World War IV may not happen. But if you think, for example, that the Europeans are heading towards a conflict with Russia, like I do, like I've been saying is an inevitable at this point, then this leaves only one scenario. It leaves the only scenario that we have to fight that war. Now, if we have to fight that war, who are going to go and fight that war? Is it going to be the women and children? I mean, if you're in the Middle East, and you're a Middle Eastern man, that's like the method of operation, right? Because they flee their war-torn countries, leave the women and children behind to fight the war, and they, because they're peaceful guys. But, here in the West, where we have men predominantly go and fight those wars. Now, if these men go and fight the wars, who's going to be left back here? And this is why I've given these two very distinct conflict areas. We've got World War III, which in general, if you're under 30, you are going to be if you're under 30, you are going to be fighting in World War III. If you're over 30, and of course there's going to be overlaps, there's going to be exceptions that prove the rule. But if you're over 30, you're going to be fighting World War IV on the streets in the West, in Europe, in the United Kingdom, and I would say maybe possibly even America. So just before we get onto this, guys, I'm going to go through. Sorry, I'm going to put the chat on. So in this live stream, I'm going to go through what you guys should do. I'm going to give generic advice now. What you should do if you are one of those people and you just happen to be in that vicinity and there's an active shooter scenario. I'm going to give you guys the advice. I'm then going to specify it. Specify it? Is that a word? I think it is. Specify it. I'll keep using it anyway. If it's not a word, it should be. I'm then going to specify it and really tie that into Bondi Beach and what happened, because there's a lot of footage out there about Bondi Beach, and there's quite a lot of, teaching points we can show on the video. We can say, look, this is what's happening. This is what's happening. This is what happened on Bondi Beach. This is the advice we gave you, and this is what should be happening. So I think it's going to be like, and look, ladies and gentlemen, I should have probably started with this. If you live in the West, be prepared for this weekend, okay? This Friday. So what is it? Friday the 19th, guys, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, put that in your diaries, okay? If there's going to be a spectacular event, it's coming this weekend, and I'm going to say it's going to come Friday, okay? So please just heed that warning. Last year, I said to you guys, I gave you guys the same warning. I said to you guys, I said, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do an urgent warning. I don't usually do these anymore, because when you tie yourself down to those dates and something doesn't happen, but you know what? I'd rather that than something do happen and people are not prepared. So this is what I'm saying, and I will do more videos about this, guys. I'll stand by this. just be very vigilant this Friday. Friday the 19th, obviously Saturday the 20th, still a risk zone, but I think Friday the 19th of December, if there's going to be a spectacular attack in the West, that's the day it's coming, guys. That is the day it's coming. Before we get onto this as well, what I just want to throw out there is there's some people on the internet talking about these shooters in Australia, saying they're highly trained and they've got, and I don't know what they're saying. They're basically saying that these shooters in Australia are highly trained. Let me just put it out there straight from the get-go, guys. All right, they're not. These are not highly trained people. You can tell how they're moving. You can tell how they're shooting. They're not highly trained people. And there's a lot of people on the internet that say, look how quickly he can reload the bolt action. Let me let you into a little secret, guys, okay? That means nothing. That means nothing. What does mean something is how he's pulling that trigger, how he's taking a fire position. And I'll tell you now, guys, they're fat nerds. Those two guys, they're fat nerds, right? That's all they are. They're fat bitches. They're both fat bitches, Probably needed a diet, couldn't get on a diet plan, decided to go and do shooty. So I'll just start with this, guys, okay? I will just start and I'll give... Potsinator here has come up with one of my training points. So Potsinator, thank you for your comment. This is one of my training points and I'm going to go to. So when we say, when we visualize, and I will come on to this later again, but when I say to you guys, run, hide, fight, and people think, oh, it's a terrorist. Oh my God, it's a terrorist. He's a hardened warrior. He's gonna. No, they're fat nerds. They're fat bitches, guys. They are literally fat bitches. Literally fat bitches. So you guys have seen in real time now, haven't you? Like how easy it is to disarm these people. Now, I'm not saying, and I need to be very clear, I'm not saying that anybody runs over to these people when they're shooting and trying to, and tries to disarm them. What I'm saying is, it's not as hard as you think. And I've done this many times. So, I'm just going to get into it, guys. I am just going to get into it. So I'm going to give you guys now generic advice on what to do if you find yourself in an active shooter situation, an active shooter scenario. So just a little bit of background. The run, hide, fight protocol it's widely recognized in the United States. And it's a survival strategy for civilians during an active shooter or armed attack incident. Now, this could also be stabby if you live in the United Kingdom. This was developed, and promoted primarily in the United States, but it is the best method to go with, guys, okay? So if you forget everything else and you're about to leave, because whatever, you've got to, do the dishes, remember this, guys, okay? Run, hide, fight. And I'm going to break down those steps in a minute, and then we'll go over to some footage from Bondi Beach, and we're going to talk about this, okay? And I will keep saying that, guys. This weekend, Friday the 19th, just be careful. I would even say if you're planning to go to a Christmas market on Friday, maybe just and you have to go, maybe just hold off until Saturday, but better still, it's up to you guys. It's up to you. I don't want to say hold off on Friday and then something happens Saturday. So what I'm saying is this weekend, just be vigilant, guys. Okay. This weekend, Friday the 19th, Saturday the 20th, Sunday potentially as well. I think if there's going to be a large scale spectacular attack, this is my opinion, speculation, analysis as a security consultant, and I've done this for years. I would say if it's going to come, it's going to come this Friday, guys, okay? It may come Saturday, it may be Sunday, it may not be at all, but if it's going to come, it's going to be this weekend. Right, so this approach, run, hide, fight, this is used in America widely, and it's promoted widely in America. It's simple, and it prioritizes the steps to increase your chances of survival. Law enforcement or the police or the military or whoever, they will take time to get there. And most of these incidents, really, guys, most of these incidents are over in 10, 15 minutes. 20 minutes is a long incident, all right? They're usually over between 10, 15 minutes. Now, if you think all sorts of crazy stuff can happen in 15 minutes, and if you find yourself in the middle, the reality is, guys, the police are just not going to get to you in 15 minutes. You know, that's the dark reality. You know, it takes longer. You know, the police are going to have to come out. They're going to have to. It's not going to happen. All right. And what the police have to do as well, the police will have to try and contain the area before they move in, because the police don't know what they're coming across. So let me just. I'll break it down. You know, this is the decision making. This is a decision making process that prioritizes escape, then concealment, then confrontation, and only as a last resort, guys, must you confrontate these people. All right. So I will be jumping back to the videos and show you guys how potentially easy it could be to, you know, how easy it could be to disarm one of these people. You know, but if you don't try and disarm these people, you're not going to disarm these people. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? So run, hide, fight. That's what we're talking about today, guys, okay? So run. So that is your main priority, and that's always going to be your main priority. In a minute, I'm going to show you guys... in fact, I'll go through run, and then I'll jump onto a video of Bondi Beach, and you'll see how chaotic it is when people are running. You know, it's really chaotic. So your first priority when you hear that gunfire is to get out of there as quickly as possible. All right, you need to put as much distance and angles between you and the shooter as humanly possible. Now, the first step that you can take to put distance between you and the shooter is to try and identify that shooter. Now, if you can hear gunfire, most people can gauge distance of gunfire. If you can if you can hear that gunfire, fine. Okay, the gunfire's over that way. Go the other way. Now, what I want to tell people to do is don't go like a blinkered chicken. Don't go like a headless chicken. You need to stop, pause, react. Oh, but Sean, stop and pause are the same thing. No, they're not. All right. So just imagine you're on Bondi Beach, right? You're on Bondi Beach and you hear the gunfire. I will show you the video because it's a perfect example. I'll show you the video in a minute. But if you're on Bondi Beach and you hear some gunfire and you hear people screaming and running, don't be a sheep. Don't run with them, because they may all be going the wrong way. And that's true, guys. They may all be going the wrong way. And what people need to consider as well, in the back of your head, there's a word for this now in the United Kingdom. It's called marauding terror attack. And a marauding terror attack is where there will be multiple events planned by multiple gunmen, multiple attackers, multiple stabbies, multiple rammies, you know. And unfortunately, this is the world we live in right now, guys. There are people that want to do this. It's sick. I was watching the video. There's a 12-minute video, an 11-minute video of this whole incident from start to finish. There's an 11-minute video. I've watched it all now. I was sharing you guys the key parts. There's some really good training points. And one of the things that really came to my mind was, what are these people thinking? Like, what are they actually thinking? Like, when they're up there and they're shooting, like, what's going through their head? So anyway, run, hide, fight, ladies and gentlemen. Run is your priority. You need to put as much distance and angles between you and the assailant as humanly possible. Have an escape plan in mind and move quickly away from the threat. So, you know, if everybody's running in one direction, that's fine. They may be going the right direction, but make sure you understand, you understand where you're going and why. Like, leave your critical belongings behind. You know, like, I've seen it I've had to evacuate off airplanes, and people are fucking about trying to get things out the top locker. And like, you're thinking, like, dude, really? We're trying to evacuate off this airplane and you're messing about in the top locker, right? Yes, obviously, if you can just grab something like your phone or your keys, fine, all right? But don't start messing about, trying to pack your bags. Just go, literally just go. Help others if possible, but don't delay. Now, obviously, help others if possible, but you shouldn't delay yourself. You shouldn't start, you know, if somebody's there and they're saying, oh, I just need to get this, I need to get that, all right? Oh, well and good. You need to leave, all right? You need to leave as quickly as possible. You know, try and I don't want to give too much into this, and I don't want to go too far in detail. I'll come on to the chat in a second. But the distance and angles thing in relation to Bondi Beach is absolutely critical, guys. It's absolutely critical, okay? So distance and angles. So run away as fast as you can from whatever that threat is, zigzagging, all right? It's very difficult if you're, you know, if you're shooting at someone when they're zigzagging and moving away from you. It is difficult. And what we saw from the Bondi Beach shooting is these guys were using shotguns. Now, I don't know what ammunition they've got in those shotguns, but like a shotgun, realistically, it's only good up to like, I want to say like the rifle, this is now, the actual rifle, maybe 150 meters if you've got like the right ammunition. If you've got like birdshot or buckshot in it, you're looking at like, you know, like, I don't know, 10 meters or something, maybe like 20, I don't know, 15 meters, 50 or 50, call it 50 meters for argument's sake. So different ammunition, but you know, at the time, you're not going to really know what ammunition it is. So distance and angles away from that bad guy, okay? Stop, pause, react. So once you've got away from this bad guy, or you've got a reasonable distance away, or if you can't get a reasonable distance away, and there's a really good bit on this video that I'm going to show you guys in a minute, where you've got these two guys and they're hiding behind a tree. All right, they're hiding behind a tree. You guys have probably seen it. One of the guys who takes the rifle off one of the other guys, they're then hiding behind a tree. And the bad guys are just taking pot shots at them, you know. So, you know, if you're trying to hide, make sure you're hid. And in that instance, you know, they need to get away from that as quickly as possible. However, think about it. You're in a shopping center, you're in a school, you're in a hospital, because I do think those places are targets as well, guys. I think hospitals are targets as well. So wherever you are, it may be the case that you are, you know, you have to hide because you've tried to run, you've run into a shop, it's a dead end, and, you know, the gunman is chasing you. You can't run anymore for whatever reasons. Now, there's a couple of trains of thought here with the hiding, all right? So the first train of thought is, if there's many people, get into a room, barricade the doors with heavy furniture, turn the lights off, turn your phones off, and, you know, just literally try and keep the door barricaded, which is all well and good. Now, the downside of that is if there's only a couple of you in there, maybe one or two people, then the bad guy will know that there's people in there. So he may want to push in and he may want to shoot his way in. And that's going to, you know, and then he's going to want to get in there because he's going to want to cause that carnage or that collateral. Now, the opposite train of thought is if you got, you know, just imagine I don't know, a workplace or a classroom or something, you know, and you've got the bad guy and he's searching around to do carnage, to do collateral, and he looks in a room and it just looks empty. He's not going to go in there and start searching, you know, oh, is somebody in the air vent? Is somebody hiding behind the wall? It's just not going to happen, all right? 9 times out of 10, they're going to look in there and they're just going to walk on, all right? You've got to understand these people will be under a lot of stress. So they're realistically the two trains of thought. And if you are hiding, stay in place until the authorities come, and the police will let themselves know, guys, okay? The police will let themselves know. So we've talked about run, we've talked about hide, we're going to talk about fight briefly. First of all, guys, all right? You guys have seen the video, yeah? You guys have seen the video of this big, tough terrorist, And I think that the guy who takes the rifle off him, he's not in shape. He just takes it off him. He comes and takes the rifle. He says, yeah, you're not doing that anymore, mate. You know, so what I will say is, if you're going to have to go to the last resort and fight, act with commitment, all right? Commit yourself and use improvised weapons, all right? That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything else on it. I'm not going to say anything else on it. And don't fight fair, all right? Don't fight fair. A fair fight, listen, guys, the way I was taught, a fair fight is bad tactics, okay? So if you know, don't say we're going to go 1-on-1. You know, it needs to be like 1,000-on-1. It literally needs to be 1,000-on-1. Right, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're joining me for the first time, I'm giving you guys my Bondi Beach analysis of the active shooter and what you guys should do. So I've just gone and I went through that relatively quickly. We've just talked about run, hide, fight, which is what everybody should do, guys. Okay, run like as fast as humanly possible in the opposite direction. If you can't run, hide. If you can't hide, then you've got to go fisticuffs because you've got no other option. So I'm just going to share with you guys a video now with a couple of, I think it's this one. I'm just going to share with you guys a video now with a couple of these training points, okay? So keep in the back of your head what we've just said, run, hide, fight, okay? That's not sharing with you, is it? That's sharing with me. Okay, so I'm gonna go in real life, you know, things don't always happen in the algorithmic sequence. So in this instance here, this is Bondi Beach. You've got the guy here, the toxic man, the toxic masculinity, and you've got the other guy here who I believe is religion of peace. Now he's got a rifle and he's shooting. This guy, for whatever reason, he decides to go straight for fight. He thinks, right, okay, I'm in close proximity. I'm going to get up to this guy and I'm going to disarm him. That's his call, okay? What I want you guys to understand is, like, you know, look, guys, I've been out in, you know, all over the world and I've dealt with these so-called terrorists on their home turf. You know, I've given plenty of them bitch slaps, you know, I've sent a lot of them to the candy shop. Now, I just want you guys to, like, if anybody's thinking that, like, you know, you see these promotional videos with these guys with the beards and I'm strong mountain man, we will destroy we will destroy Christianity and destroy, or in this case, we'll destroy Jews and destroy the state of Israel. You know, they're not really that tough, guys. You know, and again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is the toughest guy in the world. He just got caught on a bad day. But what I'm getting at here is, guys, you know, don't, if it does come to it, this is well, watch the video.
Oh! Oh mon gros!
So what was that? 3 seconds, maybe 3 seconds. That guy's been disarmed. All right, literally 3 seconds. The guy's been disarmed. So you can imagine now if there's 5 or 6 of you, you know, or even one of you, you know, if there's one of you, if there's 2 of you, or 3 of you, or 4 of you, you know, you can very competently, very easily overpower one person. All right, you've just seen it there, okay?
Mais son pote, il va se faire tirer dessus. Il est trop con, le mec qui a l'arme.
I mean, look at him. He's just a fat mess. He's literally a fat mess. Obviously, he's putting his hands up now because he can hear the police and he doesn't want to be mistaken for the gunman. And I will come on to that in a second, guys. I mean, honestly, guys, like, you know, look how ridiculous this is. Look how ridiculous this is. And the last I heard, 12 people. These 2 idiots. I don't even know what to call them. You know, these 2 people Because of that, now 12 people are not going home to their families.
Courageux. Oh. Wesh.
Okay, now I'm going to talk about another thing here. So there are people saying that these are, that these people have got military training and they've got, they're military trained and they've got a lot of skills. Trust me, guys, they're like, did that fat guy there look like he had a lot of skills with that rifle? No, he's got no skills with that rifle. Now, this guy here, you'll watch him take him shots in a minute. He's doing a good old Middle Eastern thing, which is shooting like that over the top. It's not a trained tactic. I never used to train that when I was training soldiers. I don't think he's been trained. And another thing, he's taken a lot of shots from the standing unsupported position. Now, for anybody who's done any shooting, standing unsupported, it's the most unstable fire position you can have. Now, anybody with any training at all will look at these two lampposts. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor, but I know you can see the lampposts. So you've got two lampposts here, one to the left and one to the right of the assailant. Those are perfect. They are perfect fire support positions. So you can lean into that lamppost and you can get a much more accurate shot if you use that lamppost. Also, you've got this concrete bridge. I think it is a bridge. You've got this concrete bridge. Now, that is one, it's cover. Two, it's stability. So he can duck. He should, if he was trained, he would duck down behind that bridge that I'm assuming is concrete. It looks concrete, and it could be rendered. I don't know, but it's a lot better than what he's got. That would do two things. That would give him cover from. It would give him cover. Well, do three things. It would give him cover from view, cover from fire, and it would give him a stable fire position. So straight away, I can tell that this guy is not trained to any standard, to any relative standard. Can you see there, guys? He's shooting, he's firing unsupported. So when you're firing unsupported, it's the worst fire position you can get. Now, when you're firing unsupported, it's the worst fire position you can get. Now, I'm not saying that these guys don't have any training. What I'm saying is they don't have any training of any relative standard.
Oh, l'enculé, il a pris une deuxième arme.
Look, do you see the guy there on the left? That is a real Middle Eastern thing, guys. That is a real Middle Eastern thing. Just put your rifle above and shoot him. He ain't going to hit shit. It's just a waste of ammunition. He's turning rounds into brass. Now, so if you guys, let's go back real quick. So when we talk about run, hide, fight, okay, these guys are hiding right now. Okay, this is quite possibly the worst hiding position that you could ever imagine. All right, those bad guys know exactly where they are. They can see a little bit of white t-shirt there. Oh yeah, there's those guys behind the tree, and they will continue to take pot shots at them. If there's no one else, what in this particular scenario, what these two guys need to do is run as fast as they can away from the bad guys, trying to use that tree as cover, but zigzagging at the same time.
En gros, il a récupéré l'arme du mec qui... Tu sais, il l'avait pris dans sa main, là. Mais il y en a un deuxième, là. Ils sont tous les deux sur le bridge.
Run faster than that, guys. If you're getting shot at, run faster than that.
Oui, j'ai vu. Ouais.
Okay, so this, I believe, is a police officer. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're armed. Right, now, if you guys look here on this picture, you will see, and I think this is the guy who takes them both to the candy shop. You will see a guy come from right to left, And you can see he is definitely trained. He draws a pistol with his right hand, and then he takes a fire position by this tree. And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, guys, because he's clearly trained. He's using the tree for stability.
Mec, c'est un attentat, frère. Hey,
there he is.
Non, il est en dessous du bridge.
So can you see now he's using the tree as stability? He should be on the other side of the tree if he's right-handed, but whatever.
Ouais.
Oh, he's actually moving now to the other side of the tree to get more cover. So we can take quite a few. So there's quite a few training points from there, guys. Okay, listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining for the first time, we are talking about what you guys should do if you come into a situation when there is an active shooter. What I will say, I'm going to keep repeating it throughout this live. What I'm going to keep repeating throughout this live stream is this Friday, the 19th, guys. I'm saying that's going to be a flashpoint. If there's going to be a spectacular, it's going to happen this. Okay, sorry. I do apologize. So Templar Matt is saying 16 people now. 16 people and 40 people in hospital. Okay, sorry, I do apologize. So at least 56 people shot in 10 to 15 minutes until the police turn up. If these camera people were armed, they could have saved so many lives, armed the public. I'll come on to that later, guys. I will. I don't think so. Here in the United Kingdom, look, guys. Here in the United Kingdom, I don't think we should relax gun laws at the moment in the United Kingdom. I really don't. I don't think people should be. I don't think we should relax gun laws here in the United Kingdom at the moment, guys. Okay. Silly is saying so. For context, Silly is in Israel, and she's saying we got information about the victims. Each one are my brothers and sisters. Their only fault is being Jewish. It's terrifying, guys. It's absolutely terrifying. And you know what, guys? Look, this is not an isolated incident. You know, these incidents are all over at the moment. Sean, you didn't point out the man behind the tree as he was running was shot in the head. Was he? I didn't realize. Okay, right. Okay, well, right. Let me jump back and get this. Okay, sorry, I didn't realize. Right, I'm gonna share this now, and I don't know if he. Okay, so I don't know if he is shot, or I don't know, or he might fall over. So let's share this now.
Il a récupéré l'arme du mec qui.
Okay, so what we're saying is this guy here may take a fatal round. I don't know if this is the case, guys.
Tu sais, il l'avait pris dans sa main là. Oui, j'ai vu.
I don't know, guys. He may fall. That may be a trip.
Oui, j'ai vu.
I can't hear any round going off.
Oui, j'ai vu.
I don't know, guys. If that's an official story, if that's the official line, then I heard police. I heard police sirens, and I thought it was on the TV. If that's the official line, then that's the official line. To me, he could have fallen. He could have fallen. I don't know. He could have fallen. He may not. Arming the public will make it much worse. We fought after World War III to get guns off our street for a reason. Leroy is saying, I heard shots on Twitter at that moment. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Right, listen, guys, I'm going to share with you guys another video now. So, you know how we talk about run, hide, fight? I want to share this video with you guys now. So this is another video about running, okay? This is another video about running. Okay, so, you know, these are real world videos, guys, okay? So we talk about run, hide, fight. Just look at everybody here. It's chaos. It's carnage. Now, these people, these people could be running into another. These people could be running into another attack. There. So if you look at the beach here, okay. And again, these are real world videos, guys. Okay, this is real world stuff. So if you guys look at that beach, you guys can imagine that on the, as you're looking at it, I don't know what the cardinal bearings are, but if you look at that beach on the left hand side, that looks like where they're running, right? It looks like they're running left to right. Okay, so in a complicated terror attack, which is what I call it, that's old money. And in new money, they call it a marauding terror attack. You would set up a decoy attack on the left-hand side of the beach, right? Just a couple of guys, shotguns, you know, they're shooting, all right? Everybody runs the opposite way, and then you have an ambush team, maybe 20, 30 odd people, maybe 20. Whoa. Okay, it looks like, right, hang on, guys. Right, I'm trying to, right, let me, give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Let me try and find this. If it's just happening, it won't be on the mainstream media yet. So I'm going to have to try and, give me a second, guys. I'll try and find this. Okay, so I'll share this with you now. This is, okay, let me share this with you now. So it does, right, guys, I'm just getting this in real time. Give me a second. So this to me, can you guys remember after the 7th of October attacks, and you had people on the streets celebrating? Okay, so I'm just trying to jump down here, guys, and try and get more. So it does look like there is a situation in, I think it's Amsterdam, where you have a significant number of Jews in. I just saw an image there that I can't share with you guys. So it does look like there's an incident right now in, as of like 30 minutes ago, Hamas supporters attacking a Hanukkah concert in Amsterdam. So that looks like is what that, sorry, that looks like what it is, what's happening right now as we speak, guys. This is, yeah, there's quite a few news articles reporting on this now, guys. Okay, so breaking, Hamas supporters are attacking a Hanukkah concert in Amsterdam. That is breaking at the moment, guys. I will keep flicking back to that and keep you guys updated on what's happening there. Right, let me jump back. It's just crazy, guys. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, it's the Amsterdam concert, guys. There's an as Donna's saying there, there's an Amsterdam concert, Right, let me try and get 2C TV on. I don't want to steal 2C's. I don't want to steal 2C. Right, guys, listen. I'm gonna continue with this. If there are updates on the Amsterdam. If there are updates on Amsterdam, I'll keep you guys posted, okay? So what we are talking about today is the active shooter analysis from Bondi Beach. Now, I'm giving you guys the advice, what you guys should do if you find yourself in a situation like that or similar. And the advice is simple. Run, hide, and fight as a last resort. Now, I've been sharing with you guys these videos, and one of the videos I shared with you guys is just how easy this guy was disarmed. Now, you can imagine if everybody's cowering, going, oh, you've got a gun, don't hurt me. He's going to have a field day, right? Because he's got a gun. Rather than saying, oh, he's got a gun, try and you guys have the ones with the gun, okay? Only as a last resort, guys, okay? Only as a last resort. Right, I've got some more videos to share with you guys as well. We've done that one. We've done that one. Not that one. Is it that one? No. What's that? Not that one. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. So I've got another video to share with you guys as well. Now, so when this, so okay, so fine. Okay, so let's play this through. Okay. You're in a shopping center, you're in a mall, you're in a hospital, you're in a school, wherever, it doesn't really matter. And there's an active shooter situation, there's an active shooter, and you are in that scenario and it comes to an end. Now, at some point, it will come to an end. Either you're going to be going up to the pearly gates, or you're going to get some black-clad guys bursting through the door with MP7s or something. Now, either way, it's going to come to an end. Let me share with you guys this bit. Okay. If you come into the police, if you come into contact with the police, okay, honestly, guys, stand still and just put your hands up. You won't get shot. I promise you. All right. If you see the police and you positively identify them as police, stand still, put your hands up. Let them see the palms of your hands. Because, as an armed response officer, you're going in there, you're looking at people, you're not looking at their eyes, you're looking at their hands to see what they're doing. And you're trying to positively identify a weapon. And if you positively identify a weapon, that sort of stuff's going to happen. But what I'm getting at here is if these police officers are not highly trained, if it's not military special forces, they will be shaky. They will be scared. They will be scared for themselves. And a lot of those people, when they get scared, they start doing comfort firing. You don't want that. You don't want to give those people an excuse to open fire. So when the situation's dealt with, all right, just stand still and put your hands up. You may get a kicking, all right? You may get a kicking. You may get a good beating. Just accept it, all right? Don't fight back. It's better you get a kicking than than a 9mm hole puncher. So I'm going to share with you guys this video now of a good example what not to do, okay? This is a good example what not to do. Now, this is the full video. This is like 11 minutes long. I'm not gonna play the full video. I'm just gonna focus on the end bit. Okay. I'm just gonna focus here, okay? So from here, both the gunmen have been neutralized. Don't go near it, guys, okay? Don't go near it. So you've got this guy here, and somebody just took a pot shot at him because he's there now, dressed similar to the assailants, and the police don't know who he is. Don't do that, all right? Don't do that. Stay away from it. Now, at this point, there's a lot of confusion, okay? That guy there who's standing up, he's like a good guy. I don't know who he is. He might be a good guy, might not be a good guy. But he's just a random bloke, basically, who's gone up there. I don't know what he's thinking, but watch what happens to him. And sorry, guys, all this was dealt with in 7 minutes. 7 minutes, this was over. So if you see this guy here with the white top on, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a guy there with a white top, and he runs up. He runs up and he starts attacking that guy. So the guy with the white t-shirt is attacking just a random guy for absolutely nothing, you know, because he thinks he's one of the assailants, right? And now, now, look at this, guys, okay? So now the police are trying to deal with this. So now the police are like, right, we've got 2 guys fighting on the fucking bridge. We've got 2 bodies on the floor, loads more bodies. Like, it's just an extra thing the police don't need to deal with, guys, okay? Let the police do their job, all right? Back off, right? You don't need to go there. Unless maybe you want to go there for a selfie, then that's on you. Now, guys, if you've been following this video, the guy who went up and he's got his hands up because he went up, I think he's trying to help. He went up with, he's getting arrested now. He's getting arrested and he's getting a kicking. And if you look at this, these people are angry. This is a mob, all right? You don't want to be in that situation, okay? So don't go near it. Try, like I say, guys, okay? Run, hide, fight. Get as much distance away from that situation as you can. I mean, this guy here, we know he's just took his top off. He runs. I mean, I don't know what. I mean, that guy is very. I mean, I don't know what's happened to that guy. Maybe he's lost a friend or something, but he is out of control. I actually think in a minute, this guy with no shirt, he runs back up there and starts kicking one of the people. I think one of the corpses. I'm going to pause. I'm going to stop that video there, guys. I just wanted to show you guys that video because, you know, everybody talks about, you know, run, hide, fight. What do you do when the police come? You don't want to get a kicking, right? I'm going to assume 95% of you, I don't know, maybe some of you do. I'm going to assume that the vast majority of people do not want to get a beating. Okay, and that's what will happen because you can imagine, tensions are high. People are scared. People are angry. They see somebody and somebody says, that's one of the gunmen. You might not be one of the gunmen, all right? You might not be. I've got no doubt that you guys will not be one of the gunmen. But what I'm getting at here is when the police come, stand still, put your hands up, all right? You might get a kicking, all right? It's better that you get a kick in than a 9mm hole puncher because nobody needs one of them in the back of the head, guys. Trust me, it's not a good day out. So this incident does look like it was, it had potential to be a lot worse because let me show. I'm going to share another thing, because they were also improvised. There was also improvised explosive devices found. I'll share this with you guys now. This is from Sky News.
It's way too early to give any description of the firearms other than to say that they were long arms. Where they came from, their background, how they came to be in possession of the offenders, it's too early to say. As part of the investigation and shortly after the shooting occurred, police located a vehicle in Campbell. Okay, so listen, guys, okay, this is really important, because this takes this incident from an active shooter to a complicated terror attack. Parade at Bondi, which we believe has several improvised explosive devices. We have our rescue bomb disposal unit there. I'll just rewind that. Has several improvised which we believe has several improvised explosive devices. We have our rescue bomb disposal unit there at the moment working on that.
What is the latest?
So they also found, as he said there, and that's from Sky News, several improvised explosive devices. Now, look, guys, you know, this is ratcheting up a level. This is ratcheting up a level, because now you've got a situation, now you've got a scenario where you've got gunmen actively running on the streets, and they are now backed up with improvised explosive devices. Sean, new Islamophobia for this week. Yeah, so, but listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you live in the West, the real threat is toxic masculinity and the rise of the far right, okay? And the rise of the far right. Quick run. No, babe, we can't. I've got to get some footage. I'll grab you. Yeah, that's what it's like. That's what it's like. Trevor is saying most people had headshots. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I wouldn't say these people. I don't think these people had any level of, you know, I don't think these people had any level of training, any competent level of training anyway. You can't implement logistics if you don't recognize the problem. I don't know what that means, Linda. I don't know what that means, but whoa! No way! I mean, it's family bonding at least. Let me just Google this. I can't find that. Oh, 6 minutes ago, Reuters. I've got it, guys. I'll share this with you. Thank you, Donna. So we've got breaking news from, look, guys, okay? When you talk about an ideology, okay, when you're trying to combat this, okay, when you're trying to combat this and you're trying to understand the threat that we are all up against, and I've been saying this, guys, okay, World War IV is here. It will be fought on our streets. It will be fought on our streets. Now, thank you for that, Donna. I'm going to share this article from Reuters. So, Australian police say father and son duo allegedly behind Sydney's mass shooting. So, this is what Reuters are reporting, guys. Australian police on Monday, so obviously they're like a bit in front of us. Australian police on Monday said on Monday that the alleged offenders behind the attack at Sydney's Bondi Beach were a father and son duo, and they were not looking for a third offender. Police said during a media briefing that the investigation showed only 2 offenders were responsible for the attack at the Jewish holiday celebration that killed 16 people and injured 40. Look, guys, there's so much stuff I want to say right now. It's the ideology, okay? The ideology. What happens at home level? Like, what happens when you're at home and you haven't, like, what, you know, have you done your homework, son? Yeah, I've done it, Dad. Do you fancy going out and shooting some Jews? Like, where does that, like, you know, and I'm not being distasteful. I'm just like, I'm trying to get as many people to understand. I'm trying to get as many people to understand the ideology. And you can't appease this type of ideology, guys. You can't put this type of ideology in hotels and give them money and business support and please don't hurt us. World War III, it's here. World War IV has been here a long time, guys. It has been a long time. Listen, guys, I will say this to you again. I'll keep saying this. Be aware, be conscious for next Friday. Friday the 19th, obviously Saturday the 20th as well. Next weekend, guys, okay? Next weekend, just prepare yourselves. Be vigilant. Try and stay at home if you can. Donna is saying, you see it happening all around you. That's a warning. It's on your doorstep. Prepare for what's about to come. It absolutely is, guys. It absolutely is. I do hope the Aussies do seek revenge. Ministers brace for Islamophobia. Look, guys, can you imagine right now in the United Kingdom how, like, we've just had this, right? And the other one, and the other one, and the other one, and the other one, right? And now we've got Islamophobia laws. Look, ladies and gentlemen, would it surprise anyone? Like, if you live in the United Kingdom right now, would it surprise anyone if Keir Starmer announced, I don't know, 10 million to be sent to Australia to protect the mosques in Australia? Would anybody, would anybody think that would anybody just bat an eyelid, or like if you're in the United Kingdom, you go, oh yeah, we've got to send what? Yeah, some Muslims shot a load of Jews in Australia, so we've got to go and bolster the mosques in Australia because that somebody might get angry. It wouldn't surprise me. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, okay, I'm looking at the time. I am going to have to start to close this down now. What I just want to get out into everybody, what I just want to put into the forefront of everybody is this run, hide, fight system, okay? If you're joining for the first time or you missed the first part of this live stream, just remember those 3 words, okay, guys? Run, hide, fight. This is a civilian response to an active shooter scenario. The run, hide, fight protocol, that was... I think it was developed and promoted predominantly in the United States, and it is the best one. It is the best one. If you live in the United Kingdom, they say run, hide, tell, which is bullshit. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. Don't ever do that. It's ridiculous. So now you guys have seen that video, right? You guys have seen that video, okay? So did you see how easy it was to take that rifle off that guy? Yeah? Okay, now let's just pretend that these people have, you know, that this is in the United Kingdom and those people have been told to run, hide, and tell, okay? So you've got the guy standing there, you know, quite easily can be disarmed, right? Not easy. There's a lot of risk to it. But, you know, instead of that, what everybody does is all like 6 people, rather than mob him and take the rifle off him and save themselves and stop other people being injured, what they do is they think, we've run, we've hid, now we have to tell. So they all get their mobile phones out. We are experiencing high call volume at the moment. Please. Oh, right. Okay. All right. I've got to send an email. What about you? Yeah. So they're also there sending emails to the police, because if you live in the United Kingdom and you phone 999, normally you just get through to an automated service and they say send an email. So you have to send an email like the guy's going, Allahu Akbar. Or maybe he's saying Allahu Akbar. Maybe he's a Norwegian fisherman. I don't know. You know, and then those 6 people could have been alive. But unfortunately, because they went with run, hide, tell, they've used their phones rather than their fists. So evacuate is your priority, guys. Okay, and if you forget everything else, put as much distance and angles between you and the bad guys as possible. Zigzag while you're running. Very difficult to shoot somebody that's zigzagging, especially when you don't know when they're going to zigzag back the other way. Because if you guys imagine you're looking through a scope. And these guys weren't trained. These guys weren't trained at all. If you imagine you're looking through a scope and somebody's moving left to right, you have to you have to use, what is it, the shotgun method or the lead, the ambush method or the shotgun method? Is it? Somebody help me out here. It's the shotgun method or the ambush method. So the ambush method is where you hold the rifle in front of where you think they are and then fire it. And the shotgun method, or is it the shotgun? It's tracking, I can't remember. Or the leading, I think it's lead. If you're American, it's lead. If you're British, it's shotgun. But then you have to track. It's very difficult. It is very difficult if you're moving left to right. If you're moving in a straight line away from somebody that's shooting, it's really easy because you just keep the crosshairs or the graticule or whatever you've got. You just really, really easy, guys. You keep the crosshairs on that person and you just keep shooting. They're moving left to right, very difficult, okay? Zigzag away from that shooty. Hide if possible. It's not always going to be possible. You may have to improvise 2 trains of thought when you are hiding. 1, you can barricade the door shut and you can hold it. You can try and stop that person getting in. 2, you can leave that door wide open and just hide in that room. Those decisions, guys, they're going to be absolutely up to you. And, you know, you can argue both instances. You can argue, you know, you're going to have to weigh these situations up in your, you know, yourself. Maybe you just want to lock that door and hide in the room as well. If there's a group of you, maybe you think, okay, right, there's a group of us. If he comes in here, we can also fight, you know. So I don't know. Each scenario is going to be different. And only as a last resort, fight. Now, the only thing I'll say with fight is use commitment and work as a team. There's no such thing as a fair fight in battle, guys. There's no such thing as a fair fight in warfare. Fair fight is equal to bad tactics, okay? So if you find yourself in a fair fight, you have got bad tactics. And I just want to keep that short, and I want to, you know, look at the real world scenarios that we've just seen today, guys, okay? The real world scenarios we've just seen on Bondi Beach. You saw the 2 guys hiding behind the, the palm tree or whatever it is. You saw the 2 guys hiding behind the palm tree. Again, you know, it's not the best cover. You need to put distance and angles between you and those bad guys. And remember, if the police do come, or when the police come, just stand still, guys, and put your hands up. Literally, stand still and put your hands up. Rasta Sounds is saying we are definitely running out of time and there's more and more coming, but still nothing being done. It's obvious we are being taken for fools. We need to wake up. There was 5, I don't know if you guys know this or not. Somebody put it on the chat earlier. There was 5 people arrested in Germany. They were planning a ram attack at a they were targeting a Christmas market as a ram attack. 5 people have been arrested in Germany. Vanna Caver, I don't know what that means. Vanna Cavered is saying the Sydney terror attack may have been carried out by Iranian-backed foreign terror fighting cell, Israeli authorities believe. So, look, guys, I don't know about this. You know, there's a lot of stuff. And for the purpose of this live stream, it really isn't going to matter, guys. It really isn't going to matter. You know, if somebody starts shooting, all right, and let's not pretend this can't happen in the United Kingdom, because it can. But if somebody starts shooting, it's not really going to matter, you know, what their ideology is, whether it's a terror attack, whether it's a complicated terror attack, whether it's, you know, whether it's Norwegian fishermen, you know, whether they're shouting, "Oh, praise Odin, God of the North." I don't know. Maybe that's what they shout. You know, the same thing is going to be real, guys, okay? Run, hide, fight. Listen, guys, I'm going to keep saying that again, okay? Remember, next weekend, next weekend, is it next weekend? Yeah, we're on Sunday. Next week, is it next? Yeah, next weekend, Friday the 19th, guys. Just be very cautious about what you're doing next weekend, okay? Lewis Ackers is saying, cover, sufficient protection, concealment, hidden without protection. Yeah. Lee Nayward? Is that Lee Nayward? I think Lee Nayward is saying, this is what's coming to the UK. Watch our feature-length documentary hosted by Isabel Oakenshott, which investigates life inside the migrant camps in Calais and Dunkirk, as recorded. Yeah, look, guys, I was out there I was out there at the migrant camps last week. I saw this firsthand. I saw the migrant camps firsthand with my own Mark 1 eyeballs, and it's a lot worse. You know, it's a lot worse than people think. It really is. When you consider that prison in the United Kingdom would be an upgrade, where's the incentive? Like, really, guys, where's the incentive? When, like, okay, so imagine, right? Imagine if there was a country, right? Imagine if there was a country, and if you committed a crime on that country, you got sent in isolation with your family to a desert island, and you had a yacht and, you know, just the basics, and you had to, like, make your own little community. I mean, I'm saying that because that's what I'd like. I don't, you know, whatever. But can you imagine if that was your punishment? All right, that was the punishment. You'd be like, what? That's my punishment. Yeah. If you commit a crime in this country, we are going to get you and your family. We're going to put you on a private yacht, and you're going to have to sail to an isolated island, and you're going to have to, we're only going to give you bare minimum. So we're only going to give you, like, food, like water, rice, you know, ribeye, bacon, potatoes, leeks, mushrooms, and you're going to have to survive yourself for 10 years. You'd be like, okay, so I come to your country, I commit a crime, and you send me to paradise. Yes. Oh, okay. You literally would. And a lot of these countries that these people are coming from, our prison service is better than where they've came from. If you're in prison in the United Kingdom, guess what? You get 3 meals a day. You do. You don't have to go hunting a lion or, like, foraging. You know, you get 3 meals a day. You get a warm room. You get a dry room. You get 4 walls. You get looked after. You literally get looked after, which is better than a lot of these places where these people are coming from. Donner is saying Trudeau scrambles military to attack Syria after death of soldiers. F-16 and A-10s approach. I'm going to assume that's Trump, or maybe Justin Trudeau. Is Justin Trudeau still in power? I don't think he is. Sherry Heppelstone is saying, if this doesn't wake people up, I don't know what will. Right, guys, just before I go, I'm going to refresh this and see if there's been an update on the what's happening in Amsterdam. Right, let me share this with you guys. Sorry, let me share this with you. Let me share this first. So, Okay, so look, guys. So let me just dispel this misinformation. Okay, so the mainstream, not the mainstream media. The caption on this video is something like, "This is a highly trained operator." Okay, fair enough. All right, he's a highly trained operator. Okay, that's not the most stable fire position. If you look, literally, like there, maybe like 2 feet below him, there's a wall. At the very minimum, he should put his legs on that wall. He may need to rise up to get the, what's it called? Defilade aperture? I don't know. To see, basically, whoever he's shooting at or whatever he's shooting at. Now, if he was trained, he would be really low and he would be using this wall for support. And he's not. So, like, you know, these guys are not trained, all right? They're not trained at all. Or, you know what? They may have some sort of military training, but it's not on anything, like, it's not, like, comprehensive or anything. Right, let me just... Hamas terrorist mobs attack Hanukkah concert in Amsterdam. "17 minutes ago." Wow. Okay, I'll share this with you guys now. In fact, there's quite a bit come out. Let me share this with you. So, listen, ladies and gentlemen, it does look like there is a concerted effort to attack the Jewish community that are gathering in Amsterdam. It's getting a bit wild, actually. Let me share this with you guys. Okay, so did you see? Okay, so right. Okay, I'm just going to share something there, guys. Okay, this was okay, I've done this. Okay, can you see these guys here in hoods? These are police. Okay, these guys here in hoods, they're police. Okay, these are undercover police, and they are something called a snatch squad. What they do is they will go into crowds and they will identify ringleaders and then make covert arrests. This is not a covert arrest. But I was just trying to figure out what I'd seen there. So they've clearly identified these 2 people as ringleaders, and then they're pulling them out. I'm going to leave that there, guys. I'll see if I can get any. Listen, guys, when I do these videos, okay, my experience is of working that sort of circuit. You know, when we talk about public order, I've done literally every one of those roles. I've been there with a riot shield and a baton. I've been, as you saw there, those snatch squads where you would either be. I mean, that was a little bit of. That was quite brutal the way they did that, to be fair. Normally, a snatch squad will be operating in the crowd undercover, and they will find these ringleaders, and then they will wait till an opportunist moment and then just take them off. So that's a snatch squad. I've also been, this was before AI and, you know, the implementation of long-range CCTV cameras. I've also been in the van with the CCTV camera that goes up trying to identify these, you know, the ringleaders. So I've done all these jobs, guys, and I can understand what's happening. And I can see these things. I can see these things before they jump out. Rasta, he said, I've always asked that question with the world war as well. What is it about the Jews? Those Palestine flags, guys. And it's, to me, it's that beat. You know that beat? Bum, 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 bum. Honestly, like that beat is going to, if anything, it's that beat that's going to send me crackers. Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to close this down now. Just be cautious, okay? World War III and World War IV, I've been talking about those for quite a while, okay? And I've been separating them quite prominently. World War III is going to be guns, bombs, tanks, planes, trains, automobiles, drones, ships, submarines, satellites, long-range strike capability, B-2s, A-10 Warthogs, F-16s, and whatever. Okay? That's going to be World War III. World War IV is going to be fought consecutively, although I could argue World War IV has already started. World War IV is going to be the war on our streets. And that's what we're looking at right now, guys. It is. Well, I'll keep saying this. I'll keep repeating it. Please tell your friends. Please tell your family. Please tell your friends. Please tell your family. Just be cautious this weekend, okay? Friday the 19th, obviously Saturday the 20th, although I am identifying Friday the 19th as a potential flashpoint. Why? Lots of reasons. I'm not going to go into them now. Guys. Just, be conscious of this Friday, obviously Saturday, obviously Sunday, because I feel there could be a spectacular. I do, guys. I really feel there could be a spectacular on its way. Something happening, something huge happening on Friday, maybe Saturday, who knows. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close this down now. You guys are being absolutely fantastic. You guys be fantastic. I will be back on tomorrow morning. I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 9. I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 10, as I normally am. And if you've not done so already, guys, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share my stuff, guys. I really do appreciate when you do that. And I bid you good evening. I'll see you in the morning.